You're listening to Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. Truly Unruly, we are back. Marcus Trufant, Jessica Trufant. My name is Kel Trufants. How you guys doing?
Hey.
You guys straight?
Doing all right. How you doing, brother? How you doing? You all right?
Doing good, man. It was a nice, brisk 67-degree day here, so it's starting to get back somewhat to the warm weather again, which is
not
good
bad.
It was hella cold. It was hella cold for like a month. So
what's hella cold though?
Oh, it was at night. It was getting down into like the 40s.
It gets chilly out there at night.
It gets chilly.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
And it's desert cold, so like there's no humidity, so it's like that bone cold that like it's not cool. Like it was cold as shit, but it's not raining though, so that's good. All right, well, you guys ready to get into this episode? Got an interesting topic today.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
Let's do it.
Are friends of the opposite sex okay?
Friends of the opposite sex. Interesting. A lot of layers to this too.
So here's my first question for both of you. Is a close friendship with someone of the opposite sex, does that pose a threat to a marriage?
It could pose a threat.
I think it could be, yes, it can be uncomfortable. I think it could be uncomfortable, even with communication. For me personally, I've never been one to befriend women just to be friends, right? And I guess you can call me shallow or what, but if I'm hanging out with a woman on a regular basis, I probably got a different motive than just friendship.
Right. He's never been like that, but there were plenty of women that were, that's my family and this and that. And I'm like, y'all are not related. So back thy fuck up.
Nah, but I'm saying, though, I know there's people out there that do it, but me personally, I've never had that type of relationship. And I'm not, I don't know. I just didn't come up like that, but I would not, I don't think I would be comfortable with just having a bunch of guy friends that she just called, yeah, this is my brother or this is my cousin and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if I'd be down. Well, I wouldn't be down for that.
Right. Like, what if I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having an issue. You know what? Let me call
this dude.
What name should I use? Let me call Romeo. Okay. Yeah. Like, instead of like confiding, I don't know, it's weird. I guess it could work, but instead of confiding in my husband, I'm confiding in Romeo.
Having friends of the opposite sex, what's appropriate? Let's say you have platonic friends, okay? What's appropriate and what's considered inappropriate? What you guys think?
So platonic friends of the opposite sex is what you're saying?
Yes.
What's appropriate and what's inappropriate?
Yes.
Okay. Here's where it could be appropriate. If you guys have been friends for years and years and years, right? Like you said, a platonic friend, that friend is married or has a love interest, has her own life going on, and we're kind of all incorporated in the relationship, like a threesome or a foursome.
Yikes.
Like that could work. And that's, you've got to make your significant other, if you do have friends of the opposite sex, you got to make them comfortable with that. And so I think bringing everybody together and incorporating everybody and everybody having some sort of connection or relationship, I think that would soften the blow.
I disagree.
Really?
Disagree because I think there is natural boundaries, or there should be with these conversations. I'm not just because we're married couples together and we hang out together and stuff like that. I'm not going to, you know, reach out to one of my dude's wives because I got a issue and I just need to talk about it. There's channels and there's ways you go about that. Okay, because I might call the dude first and be like, okay, I got this situation. I know your wife is in this field and she may do X, Y, and Z. So I would like to talk to her. And that's just me. You can call it old school if you want, but I know there's channels and there's way to navigate that. But to go straight to somebody else's significant other, I think is out of bounds.
Well,
in a lot of situations.
That is out of bounds, but I was just thinking like just strictly getting together and doing stuff like that. If that's your friend, right?
Right.
Well, it's kind of like how, well, no, because you don't have friends of the opposite sex, and neither do I. Anyways, that is your friend, right? And you're incorporating her and her family into it.
Right. But I think what Kale is asking, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Kale, but like friends, and it's more of like a single friend that's outside.
Oh, so we're talking
about this thing.
I'm saying this is when it would be okay.
Right.
But a single friend.
Or that's outside of this couple's thing, but it's a friend that you may, I don't know, that you know from work and you guys have worked together for years or whatever. Kale, is that kind of the situation you're talking about?
Yeah.
I'm still saying no, but hey.
Well, it's funny you guys bring that up, because what Jess is saying, I found this article that's the rules for husbands' friendship with other women. And one of the rules is include one another in the friendship. And now there's another article I saw that said times where it's okay to have those kind of friends is if it is someone that they work with and they've worked with them for years. There's no way they're not gonna be able to avoid that person, especially if they work together. So for them to have just at least a friendly work relationship, like that's okay. And then back to the other thing you guys that Jess said also is, now it's okay if you guys have been friends for a really long time. Let's say you went to college together, or you might even have the same group of friends. Let me at least include my partner into this. So so my partner is comfortable and knows that like there are boundaries, and you know what I'm saying? And even would want my ex to get to know the new person I'm with. So then they're both comfortable and it's not awkward for anybody. Right. You see? So that stuff, like I understand if you got the backbone for it. Not all people do.
No, but Kale, I think that's different than an actual friendship. That's more of group gatherings. If we're going to be in the same place, okay.
It didn't start off like that though.
I know,
it started off as you two being friends, and after you met me and got married, and she met her husband and got married, then we all came together. But that was she was a separate friend of yours. She was not a friend of mine.
Right.
So,
but I'm saying even from the dude conversation with the example that you just gave, Kale, if we're hanging out together and you want to include, right, that's different than having this relationship that's kind of separate from your marriage with this other man or with this other woman.
Of course, right. That's basically.
People do get down like that, though.
That's basically what we're saying.
Right.
Is not okay. But you know what? It
could be,
each
though.
Its own.
Yeah,
a couple might be comfortable with that, but I would like to think that majority, or I don't want to say majority, but a lot of couples are like, hell no, that's not going to happen. And it depends on how you enter into the relationship. If you entered into the relationship,
right, or how the relationship ended is what you mean?
No.
Both sides. Both.
Well, both. How you entered into the relationship with your current spouse or partner. If you was out in them streets and every girl was a friend, then that's not going to work. That's just no new friends. No friends at all. Right. If I scroll through your phone and there's hella girls' names and you're like, oh, that's my friend, but that's just my...
Right.
And you say she's just a friend.
It's communication
Cut
and
that
stuff
bitch
too. If you're hiding and these are new friends, but if it's someone that's been around, like you said, Kel, you've had history with, you went to college with, you've worked with, there are situations, but I think it's touchy, especially if there's been stuff in the relationship or you talk about this ex and what happened and this is what happened in the past. I don't think you need to commingle that type of stuff. And even if you have a friend, in most situations with guys, it's hard for guys to just be friends. And I know that's sabotaged in my own kind, and like I'm throwing a grenade at my own house, right? But I don't know, it could be tough.
But I think though, if you're friends with an ex that, like you said, someone that you've known for a long time, right, or a decent amount, like for years or whatever, and it's put out there that I don't want her, she don't want me, we are just better off being homies, I think that's okay.
I guess my thing is bandwidth, though. Like, do you have room for another type of female energy in your space, right?
No, he does not.
Like trying to navigate that in life. I'm just thinking of now, I guess maybe a younger me, maybe, but now with the kids and everything that's going on, how do you even be a good friend to somebody if you don't have the bandwidth? And what's the reason? And what are you getting out of it? That
I get what you're saying. But to your point a few minutes ago about not being able to be friends, I never had guy friends. Never. I don't even really know if I wanted guy friends. I'm not quite sure, but pretty much every guy that wanted to be my friend did not want to be my friend. There was an ulterior motive. Every single time.
That's what I'm saying. You got to watch out for the other side of it. And you talk about these women and certain type of men that, okay, all they want to do is sleep with you, but they get with these men that are, or they're befriending these men that are having these deep conversations and they're enjoying these conversations. And if you're doing it as a man and you
watch out,
don't want anything from that, the women could get attached to that.
But the thing is about that, though, is that that's when you have to have self-control and set boundaries.
I know, and a lot of dudes don't, is my point.
You're right. You're right.
A lot of dudes don't, and that's my point.
Nothing's going to happen unless you let it happen, right? So, like, that's totally on you. If you decide to make that decision. You said what?
God damn it, the flesh
is weak.
Well, they like posed as my friends or acted
of course,
you know, and so
why wouldn't
they? It's like it's cool until then all of a sudden there's a move made and then it goes back to we can just be friends. The fuck we can be friends. There's no way. There has to be something in order for it to work. It's kind of weird because I feel like we should be able to have friends of the opposite sex, I think, even when you're married, but it's just not a thing in society. It's like it becomes a big no-no once you get with somebody that you have to cut all ties or whatever. So
I think they say it's unhealthy, right? In some books or in some research I thought that we read or we looked at is that in other countries they do it more than we do, right?
Right. They have lots of friends of the opposite sex and all this kind of stuff. And so I think it's
pressure and everything is over sexualized on this side. So
it is.
And
it is. And if there
a lot of
wasn't
cases,
the gender role expectation, always go back to that, all of that, then it would be different, but it's not. So in this case, no, you cannot have a friend. I'm sorry.
I just think a lot of that has to do with just selfish American culture, though. We live in such an individualistic country that everything is mine, 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 mine. So it's like, well, that's my person.
Possession.
Like yeah, you know what I mean? And like other countries aren't like that. Like it's more, it's a communal kind of setting. I mean,
Collectivism.
it's collectivism. Exactly. You know, so a lot of the girls that I've had that were friends were way more loyal to me and were way better friends to me than a lot of dudes were. That doesn't make me or ever made me want to have sex with them.
Right.
It's like, oh shit, that's a good loyal ass fucking friend. I'm gonna be good to that person. I'm gonna reciprocate that and give that back because that's a good friend. And it doesn't matter what sex, male or female. You know what I'm saying? So like, for it to immediately like go to the primitive part of the brain and just be like sex. Oh God, you want to be fucking. It's like It's like, especially like you said, Jess, like as adults and as all of us as married people, it's like you should be able to control your sexual urges and be friends with somebody of the opposite sex and then not have to be immediately thought that you're trying to sleep with this person.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
It is our culture. I think we're missing out, not being able to have friends, and just in general, even from a young age, kids tend to hang. They in
all the
elementary
boys
school,
over here,
they start hanging with
here.
girls. They start hanging with boys. It's a thing, and I think as you get older, you might be missing out on some really valuable friendships.
Dope people.
Right.
Yeah.
Some dope people, because you limit yourself. You know, I can only be with girls and my boyfriend won't let me, or my girlfriend won't let me have friends. So
I would say that that we're talking about friendship, right? And I know we're saying sex might be the only thing, but in my opinion, just because you don't want to have sex with somebody, that doesn't mean that you're not taken away from your current relationship. If you really enjoy talking to another woman on a regular basis, or she is giving you some type of joy or fulfillment, maybe that your wife isn't.
I was going to say, then what am I here for?
Is that okay?
Well,
I don't
a slap
know.
in my face.
Marcus, great point, because something else I have here, it's called things you should never do when you have friends of the opposite sex. And the number one thing is never prioritize the friendship of the opposite sex above your intimate relationship.
Okay.
Yes. What you said, I think that is unwritten. I think people should just know that off the rip. Like, you should
I'm just saying, no, it's not all about sex. So I know I kind of put myself in a box when I said that, but I'm saying there's other ways to
emotional cheating, as they like to call it,
distract from your relationship that's taken away from what you got over here.
Right.
Texting and DMing the opposite gender when married. When is it not okay? Is talking to the opposite gender like texting a few times a week? Is that emotional cheating?
In my mind, I am thinking, what is the reason that you need to text this person multiple times a week? Does this person have other friends? Do you need to specifically text this dude or text this girl several times a week?
We send memes back and forth to each other. That can be an excuse. We send funny memes to each other all the time. I think this was funny, so they send me these.
You know what?
Memes.
That can be a form of flirting as well. So my thing is, where do you have other friends? Because you need to find some.
I think with social media now, I think the lines are even more blurred than they've ever been. Right, a text message is more direct, so that's pretty obvious, right? If you're going back and forth and you're having this long, drawn out text thing, but
if you're sliding into DMs,
no, not even sliding into DMs, but if you're responding to people with, that's part of the algorithm. If you have to respond to people in order to have your social media to do stuff, so it can be a slippery slope that could be used as an excuse, but it makes it tough. And I think the communication and do on to others as you want. I just messed up the saying, but do unto others.
Now, once again, this is America. That shit don't fly.
I know, but I'm saying if you're in a mature relationship, if you can have, a real conversation. Okay, I'm not going to do this, and okay, I'm not going to do that either. And this is how we're going to work as a couple, and we communicate about this. Everybody is going to be able to interact with you on social media if you have an open page. So it's hard not to be in that space.
Right. And it can turn into something different. You know, like you said, you have to respond to people and somebody's going back and forth with you and you guys continue to have a conversation and blah, 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 blah. And especially if your a significant other doesn't know about it, that's a slippery slope.
Back to that list of what I said of earlier, of things that you shouldn't do if you have friends of the opposite sex. Don't hide activities of your friend from your partner. Lies of omission are lies. And when you start hiding your behavior from your partner and you aren't engaging in a form of deception.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes. There's when there is a huge problem. And I'm sure some of you guys out there right now are doing that.
But I want
to illegal conversations.
Illicit
And illegal. No. Conversation. So
right.
Yeah, you're right. It can get kind of ugly.
But I do want to put out a disclaimer though. Or at least I'm not saying that it's out of this world or it's totally wrong if you do have a friend that's outside of your marriage. It can work in certain relationships, certain temperaments of the individuals and how they feel. But just not in
ours.
Huh?
I said, but just not in our relationship.
No. Unless we talked about it and one of us was like, yeah, I have this. I want you to understand that is this way. This is what it is. And
wait, I kind of equate it to this. This is not about friends, but it's about saying, you know, if you do this, I do this, right?
Tit for tat?
Well, not really. Well, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe kind of tit for tat. So Marcus, he was going on trips early in our marriage with his friends. Guy trips, this, that, whatever.
Now.
And I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like it. You're going without me. I don't know what's going on, whatever. And remember, this is early on in our marriage. And so finally, I was like, you know what? Oh, he told me I'm not going to stop doing that. I'm not going to stop going on trips. I'm not going to stop doing this. And just think of this in friend terms. Like this is a friend thing, but we're really talking about a trip. So anyways, he's like, I'm not going to stop going on trips with my friends. So finally, I walked up to him one day and I was like, you know what? I am getting ready to plan a girls' trip to Miami with my friends. And we are going to go there and we are going to fuck shit up. And I don't have to tell you anything about where we're going, what we're doing. He stopped going on trips. I can tell you that.
I got something to say.
So,
Judge,
your man has a friend.
Response.
You go get yourself a friend. I bet you that shit'll end.
Okay, so the situation that
I speak of?
You're talking about, because we weren't talking about it, but now that you bring it up,
well,
I feel like
it can go with friends too, or
yes. So to compare that to that, okay, if I say, or if you come to me and you say, okay, I have a friend, we've worked together, blah blah blah, and you come with, you know, a genuine heart, open heart, no malice, no anger, no anything, and then I respond, all right, I'm going to get me a friend too, and we're going to be spending a lot of alone time, and we're going to be doing all this shit. That's what you did when it came to the trips.
But did it work though?
It worked because I allowed it to work.
Problem solved.
What boundaries should be set if your spouse does have friends of the opposite sex? In you guys' opinion, like, right. What would, let's say Jessica has male friends, just has a couple male friends. Like, what boundaries, Marcus, would you like to have set for you to be okay with that, if you were ever okay with that?
Right. For one, I don't think I shouldn't have to say anything. Right.
That's what I was saying. I shouldn't
have to say one word. The boundaries should be understood.
Mm-hmm.
The boundaries should be in line with how our relationship is and going. The boundaries should be just like I said earlier. You do to me as you would want me to do to you, and always think about that. So I really shouldn't have to say anything. So if I trust you enough to have this male friend, then that's really just what it is. But again, I guess, am I wrong for saying that I want to be everything for my wife? Or so she, and I know it's a friend thing, but from somebody that she would really feel like she wanted to confide in. I know it's fun and it could be light, but friendship is friendship. But how, again, can you be that good of a friend to somebody of the opposite sex if you're so involved? How do you be that good friend, and how do you have enough energy to really put into that? You know what I'm saying?
Then you have him, and then a hero comes along.
Because my bandwidth is tapped out.
Him.
I'm tapped out, man. It's hard for me to give more. And you know what I'm saying? If I had a woman,
I don't think you're necessarily giving more unless you're giving a lot of your time, effort, energy, emotion to that friend. But it could really be just a kind of, I
want to go out and have a quick
check in
beer
every once in a while. Hey, how are you doing?
That's not really a friendship to me, though. That's acquaintance. So when we were saying friendship, Kale, in my mind, I'm thinking this is somebody that you kind of care about.
First of all,
right?
Quit going back to Kel every time you don't like what I'm saying, or you think
no, because you're going off of.
I am not going off.
You're saying someone that you just check in with, and is that really a friend?
No, but it is your friend, right? But you're talking about devoting all this time and energy.
Acquaintance.
So you're saying a friendship, you have to devote all this time and energy? I'm saying you can still have a friend, and a good friendship, you don't have to check in with them all of the time. So excuse me, stop turning to Kel.
So what's the point then if it's just this half-ass friendship outside of your marriage
it's your friend.
With the guy?
Because it's your
There's no reason to do it then.
Friend.
In my mind, it's no reason to have that check-in if that's just, okay.
So you don't have no friends that you just check in with and you guys are friends? So you're saying you guys really aren't friends? That's an acquaintance?
Do I have friends that I just check in with? They're not acquaintances, though. Those are good friends. Or those are deep friends.
That's what I'm saying. You could have a friend like that where you guys
maybe
once again,
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, because you can have a friend like that. You guys ain't got to be all like talking to each other 24 hours. That's weird, actually. That's like some teenage pubescent shit.
But that's what I'm talking about, bandwidth, and that's what I'm talking about, giving your energy. Yeah, that is teenage friendship or whatever you want to call it, because everybody's grown, everybody got stuff to do. So my thing is I don't want to, I don't feel like I need to go outside of my tribe to
Marcus is a hoarder. That's just what it is.
Of the opposite sex.
Fuck. Well,
I got you, and you're
a hoarder.
All terrain.
People are gonna think
4-wheel drive. Every situation.
I'm like in prison. He only lets me out to do this podcast.
That's not true. That is not true. Kinda.
Here's another example. Here's my last example, and we'll wrap up. How would you feel about, let's say, Marcus talking to your best friend Jess about you guys' relationship if there's like an issue? Is that okay?
I think that's okay. I do. I think because I trust my best friends and I trust my husband. And yeah, sometimes, yeah, dude, talk to my friend so she can let you know. Right.
How do you feel about that, Marcus? That just reach out to one of your close boys.
Don't do it. I'm grown. So if you want to address me about something and you want some clarity, hey, you come and talk to me.
But maybe you're desperate, right? you're desperate. There's something going on or something,
Okay.
and you're like, who do I turn to?
You got to paint the whole
and
picture for me. So
you just send a little message like, "Hey, I'm struggling with this, and this,"
right,
and then she can school you.
Right, but
That's my
that
friend.
Again,
she's my
is
friend.
not so much the friendship unless the situation was I knew your friend prior and we have this history, right?
You're talking about like elementary school,
No, I'm not.
middle school friend.
No.
Nobody, adults don't really have friendships like that.
Yeah, okay. If we went to college or I went to college with one of your friends, she introduced me to you and it kind of went like that. I knew her prior to you and
that was your friend.
And I'm reaching out to her, right? If there's things going on, or if I'm just like you said, I just want to check in with her from time to time.
No,
that is what you said, though. That's what you said earlier.
No, but you don't check in with my friend. We're talking about friends. I'm talking about a friend that you were friends with.
I know, but
prior to. No, you do not
painted
text.
The picture, though.
No, you just. Kel, let me do like Marcus. Kel, so what you're trying to say is, no, you do not reach out to my friend and ask her how she's doing. That's creepy, actually. That's creepy as fuck.
Can't win. Acquaintances and couples and all that, but yeah.
Wait,
no new friends.
Wait, my thing is, a lot of people, I'm just saying, girls and guys, claim that they have a lot of guy friends because they only got along with guys.
I knew girls like that.
But what if it's like, oh, I don't get along with girls. So
I've heard a lot of that too,
like
from girls. I don't hang out or I can't.
You guys don't realize I'm chained to this mic right now.
I can't hang out with other girls because it's too much drama, et cetera, et cetera. So I like to be around the boys. I've heard that 1,000 times too. Do I believe it in most situations? No.
Okay.
You prefer to be around the guys because you want to be around the guys.
To say you don't get along with other girls, that's strange. Once again.
No, that's true. No, it's a little strange. I get it.
I couldn't get along with girls. Can you get along with anybody? How are you going to do in the workplace? Like, what you going to do when you have a female boss? Like, what? So.
No, that is very true.
A little weird, but.
I agree. Well, this was a great episode, you guys. I like this. This is a good conversation.
I thought it was good.
We may have to revisit this again. Jess,
can you unlock my chain?
I got the key. Let me find the key.
Can you unlock my chain, please?
Oh man, Truly Unruly, Marcus Trufant, Jessica Trufant. My name is Kel. Of course, follow the page, Truly Unruly _podcast. You can listen to us on all of your favorite podcasting networks. So of course, like, subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Of course, catch the visual on YouTube by just subscribing to Marcus Trufant. And of course, catch us every Sunday on Converge. I think I got everything right.
Yes.
Cool. All right, y'all. Till next time. Peace and love.